New intro. Hi. It's Christmas Day today, so Merry Christmas. I'm in my first year of uni. I hate it. I don't know if anybody else hates it. Surely there's someone out there who does. But I decided nobody talks about this. Nobody talks about the side of uni that's not good. The world now, we're all just talking about like what's good. Our Instagrams is just all our beautiful faces when we look like snacks, but everybody knows that you don't always look like a snack. But not everybody knows that in your head you're having an awful time. So trigger warning, in case this is not the kind of video you're in the mental headspace for, and it's not the kind of thing you want to be hearing or talking about, you know, you're fully in your right not to watch the video. So to start with, my situation, I've gone to university, and I went to a university I wasn't expecting to go to because I didn't get the grades I thought I was going to get in my A-levels because I didn't work hard enough, and I had a lot of other things on my mind, which I'm sure I will get into. And I went to uni in a different country, and the mentality in this other country is very different to the mentality back home. It's a much closer knit community. You know everybody, and that makes it a much harder job for outsiders to get in, and I struggled with that a lot. I also don't like my course. I ended up not doing a course I wanted to do, and the side that I didn't think I was going to end up doing I enjoy, but the other side I hate. Yeah, that's the situation. And in brief, the situation in brief, I don't really know what to tell you about it, but that's it for now. So I left sixth form, I left school with no close friends. I had lots of people, as I'm sure everybody does, saying, you know, oh, you can always talk to me, oh, we'll keep in contact, let's visit each other, you know, oh, I love you, and all these things. And the people that comment on your Instagram and everything like that saying, I love you, you're wonderful, we gotta meet up, I miss you. But at the end of the day, they're not here when you need them. And that was partially my fault because I never told anybody what was really going on in my head. And the people I did tell, they can't understand it, not through any fault of their own, but because you're the only person in your head. You're the only person that really understands what is going on. And so it's really hard for anybody else to put themselves in that situation and understand. So even though through my sixth form experience I saw my friends start to disappear, partly because I was a bad friend, because everybody's stressed with A-levels and thinking about, you know, the future, as you are, but everybody hypes this idea that when you go to university you're going to meet your friends for life, and it's going to be the best time, and it's going to be house parties every day if that's your thing, or coffee dates if that's your thing, or just studying if that's your thing, but you're still going to meet your friends, you're going to have study dates, coffee dates, you're going to meet people at parties, and you're going to party more. And whatever is your thing, you'll find the people that want to be with you and you want to spend time with, and eventually you'll move into a house together, they'll be the bridesmaid at your wedding and all that. But none of that happened to me. It's still early days, it's only been 3 months, 4 months, but I know that the ship has kind of sailed. People have now made their friends in the country that I go to university. People already, they go to uni with their friends because the majority of people don't leave, so they all go to that same university and they all know each other, so your school group of friends stay together. And for outsiders to come in, that's a lot harder. I now know some lovely people and they're very kind and very supportive, so I really appreciate them, and there's no shade to anybody if you're watching this. Everything I say to you is honest, because honesty is key in my opinion. But there was this hype that I was going to meet my lifelong friends and uni is going to be the best days of my life. I can safely say 100% guarantee, money back, university has been the worst days of my life. Because I had no friends, I moved country. Anybody that I left back here stayed back here and they moved on with their lives, which for them is amazing. And I'm sure I look like I also moved on with my life, but I didn't. My school was my life, and my friends were my life, and I didn't move on. They had the chance to stay together because they live in close proximity to each other. There's an ocean between me and them, and so I can't, that doesn't happen for me anymore. And also, I went to university not really knowing what to do with my life. I knew that I wanted to do languages because that's what I was good at, or at least I thought, and that's what I wanted to do because I had these high hopes to travel the world and go everywhere and do everything. But that's not happening for me. I don't like my course. I've realised I'm no good at languages, because there's an ability to do something, but there's being good at something and being capable of doing that in the future, making money out of it. Like, everybody can run, but we're not going to be Olympians. You're not going to be like able to make a career out of that, and I've realised that is me with languages. I can speak languages, but I will never make a career out of it, and that's just how it is. My mental health is horrific after going to university. I went to university having sort of passed through what I thought was my depression, having got over it, and moving on. Uni was going to be amazing, but I've only gone back and I've got worse, and that's just the way it is. But right now I'm back home because it's Christmas. I'm glad to be back home because I'm in some familiar surroundings, but it's surreal at the same time because I know I'm going back, and I'm not in a situation of dreading going back home. See, I call it home, so it can't be that bad, because that's my, I have my room and that's where I live. But coming back home, especially around the holidays, you have to be happy because you're surrounded by people that you love and people that you don't want to tell that things are bad, that you want to drop out, that you don't like your course, that you have no friends. You don't want to tell people that because it upsets them, and you love them and you want them to be okay. So when they phone you, you tell them everything's fine, and that last night you were out with friends and you were doing all these things, and maybe you are doing all those things, but maybe you're like me and you're doing 100 things to keep yourself busy so you're not in your head and you don't have to sit and think about things because you don't have the time, because you've got to go and do other things. So I get really upset about it because feel, I know it's not just me that feels like this, but it feels like it because nobody else is talking about it. It's not a common thing to talk about, and if you talk about it, I'm extremely proud of you, because it's really hard, because there's this idea, you always see it everywhere, that it's okay not to be okay, but we say it and we post it and we tell other people it, but we never tell it to ourselves, and that's not okay, because we don't, then we only make it worse, because we think, well, I'm not allowed to be like this, and I'm not allowed to be sad, and it's Christmas, why am I crying? Because it's the happiest time of year, but for so many people it's the worst time of year, and you spend a lot of time when you're in this mentality thinking, I can't feel like this because there's so many people worse off than me. There are so many people that want to be at my university studying my course and they didn't get to. There's so many people wishing they looked like me, or there's so many people wishing they had what I had. But like I said earlier, you're the only person in your head. You're the only person that knows what's going on. And it's okay for you to know that you're not okay. And that it's okay for you to not know what you're doing. Even though it doesn't feel like it's okay. And it's strange for me to say that because I feel like it's not okay. And I'm always crying about it because it's not okay. So basically, I'm just here talking about how my university experience sucks. Not everybody's does. Loads of people have the best time ever. But I want anybody watching this to know, firstly, that your friends or people you used to know might be laughing. They might make jokes out of it. You know, I should be locked up for the amount of jokes I make about my mental health and the state that I'm in. But actually, a lot of jokes have truth to them. A lot of people aren't happy even though they're smiling, and that's something we know in the back of our heads, but we never actually think, well, that is my friend. We think it can't be because they are so happy all the time. But they might be like me, and then they're happy all day, and then as soon as they get in their room, they get in bed and they cry all night, and then they don't eat because they're too sad to get out of bed. And then you force yourself up to go to class. Otherwise, you're going to fail. And if you're going to fail, you might as well drop out. And either way, you're disappointing everybody that believed in you and worked really hard for you to get there. And it's not okay to be like that, but what's really not okay is to not talk about it and to not ask people. Meaning what you're saying, there's a difference between saying, hey, you can always message. My camera died, but what I was saying is that there's a difference between messaging somebody and saying, hey, feel free to let me know, you know, if you're feeling bad, let's talk, or I'm always here for you and I love you, and actually making somebody feel like they can talk to you. Because when you're in your head and you're in your mental health crisis or your existential crisis or whatever is going on in your head, it feels like people are saying that, but you're just going to bother them by telling them or talking to them. And we need to make people feel like that. I don't know how we make people feel like they can talk to us, but we need to try. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say in this if I'm gonna make a series out of this, because otherwise I will just have talked about my whole life in one video. But if you're going to take anything from the video, it's that it's not okay to not be okay, but it is really not okay to not talk about it. because that's the only way we can make ourselves okay. And I hope everybody is having a great Christmas and a great holiday season, which I know everybody's not, but I hope that one day everybody will, because that's what everybody deserves. And I hope that these videos, probably no one will watch them, but maybe it'll help just one person. I know it's already helping me, so that's enough for me. And yeah, that's it really. So tune in next time to see my next breakdown in a logical thought path.